The Targaryens are an ancient family that are part of a people called the Valyrians, who are from Essos, from the land of the 14 Flames. They, like many other highborn from that freehold, are descendants of even more ancient founders that were shepherds, who performed blood rituals and blood magic and bonded with dragons. So from the first Targaryen that was named before the doom of Valyria, to the last surviving member that joined the Night's Watch, here is a full royal Targaryen bloodline explained in brief. Let's get to it. The earliest Targaryen that we know of is Aenar Targaryen, the father of Daenys the Dreamer. He and his family were dragon riders that lived in Valyria, at the height of the Freehold's power, before the Doom. Not much is known about them except for the fact that he and his family moved to Dragonstone in 114 BC. Then the second earliest Targaryen that we know of is Daenys the Dreamer, the one who had the prophetic dragon dreams and foretold of the Doom that was to come to the Valyrian Freehold. She, along with her father and their dragons, including Balerion the Black Dread, fled to Dragonstone. So from here onwards, we will count the Targaryens in this video as the Westerosi generation line of Targaryens, starting with the first generation, which was Aegon the Conqueror and his sister wives. Each of them on dragons made their war on the kingdoms of Westeros, conquering each one of them except for Dawn, and thus began a line of Targaryen kings and queens sitting atop the Iron Throne. Now we come to the second generation, which are Aegon's children. The first was Aenys, born from the marriage of Aegon to his sister wife Rhaenys, and the second son being Maekar, born from his union with his other sister Visenya. Aenys would be king for a short while after Aegon's death, ruling from 37 AC till 42 AC, and was succeeded by Maekar the Cruel for a time, until his death in 48 AC. Then Alyssa would birth Jaehaerys Alysanne. Jaehaerys would be crowned king after the death of Maekar in 48 AC, and he would rule for many long years, bringing prosperity to the Seven Kingdoms. Now for the fourth generation of Targaryens, there were quite a lot. Jaehaerys was quite a busy, prospering king, even in the sack, siring around 13 children, but here we shall take a look at only 4 of them, which were Aemon, Alyssa, Balon and Daela. These serve as important individuals for the bloodline, while the others merely faded into existence or were stillbirths. Then next we have the 5th generation. So Prince Aemon with Jocelyn Baratheon would bring forth Princess Rhaenys, the same one that bonded with the dragon Meleys. Princess Daela would marry a lord of the Vale called Roderick Arryn, and she would give birth to Aemma Arryn, the same Aemma that would be the wife of King Viserys. And so Prince Balon, the heir to the Seven Kingdoms and the son of Jaehaerys, would marry his sister Princess Alyssa, and they would produce Viserys and Daemon. Sadly, Balon would never see the crown, as he passed away before his father Jaehaerys did, who died in 103 AC. And after the death of the old king, Viserys would become the new monarch, ruling the kingdom in peace, while Daemon, his younger brother, would go off on mostly unassigned missions and eventually become known as the Rogue Prince. For the 6th generation, we first have Lady Laena Velaryon and Laenor Velaryon, who are the children of Princess Rhaenys Targaryen and Lord Corlys Velaryon. Princess Rhaenys actually had a good claim for the throne after her father passed away, but was overlooked, and her uncle and then Viserys were actually named as heirs. So here, as you can see, Laena and Laenor Velaryon do have some sort of a claim over the Iron Throne. So from the first marriage of King Viserys to Aemma Arryn of the Vale comes the first of the 6th generation of Targaryens, who is Princess and would be Queen Rhaenyra of the Blacks. Sadly, Aemma Arryn would have a lot of stillbirths and babies that would only live for a day or two. After the death of Aemma, from Viserys' marriage to Alicent Hightower comes the next batch of 6th generation Targaryens. These are the Greens, namely Prince and would-be King Aegon the Elder, Queen Helena, Prince Aemon, and from the union of Rhaenyra and Laenor Velaryon, Prince Jacaerys, Lucerys and Joffrey Velaryon would be brought forth. However, their lineage was controversial, as many claimed them to be bastard sons of Harwin Strong. The Greens would also have their own 7th generation Targaryens and heirs, which were Prince Jaehaerys, Princess Jaehaera and Prince Maelor. Prince Aemon would have no wife and thus would sire no children. After the death of Lady Laena Velaryon and the supposed death of Laenor Velaryon, Prince Daemon Targaryen would wed his niece Rhaenyra Targaryen and would sire the Prince Viserys and Aegon the Younger, with the pure blood Targaryen children being not subjected to rumors or whispers, to the same controversy that clouded their older half-siblings. As a side note, although they would have no children, Prince and would-be King Aegon the Younger would marry Princess Jaehaerys and their union would end the civil war called the Dance of the Dragons in 131 AC. So although married to Jaehaera Targaryen, King Aegon the Younger would have a second wife in Lady Daenerys Velaryon, and they would have children which were the 8th generation of Targaryens. These were Prince and would-be King Daeron, Prince and would-be King Baelor, Princess and Queen Consort Daena, Princess Rhaena, and Princess Aelena. King Daeron would rule from 157 AC to 161 AC after his father's death. He would have no children, and so the crown would pass to his younger brother Baelor, who also had no children and reigned from 161 to 171 AC. So in 171 AC, after the death of King Baelor, the crown would pass on to his uncle Viserys II, the younger brother of Aegon the Younger. Viserys II had 3 children with his wife Lara Rogare, and these were also 8th generation Targaryens, which were Prince and would-be King Aegon the Unworthy, Princess Nerys and would-be Queen, and then Prince Aemon of the King's Guard. King Aegon the Unworthy would reign as king after his father's death in 172 AC until his own death in 184 AC. Now from King Aegon the Unworthy and his sister wife Nerys Targaryen would come the 9th generation of royal Targaryens, which were Prince and would-be King Daeron and Princess Daenerys Targaryen, who is not to be mistaken with the Mother of Dragons that would appear later on in the Targaryen family tree. So King Daeron the Falseborn, as he would be known due to a conspiracy brought about in another civil war called the Blackfyre Rebellion, he would marry a princess of Dawn called Mirria Martell, and this would unify Dawn with the realm once and for all. They would both bring about the 10th generation with their children King Aerys the Bookworm, Prince Baelor, Prince Rhaegal, and King Maekar, who would succeed his brother Aerys due to him not having any children as heirs. The 11th generation of Targaryens that were of the royal lineage, meaning the children of King Maekar and Queen Consort Diana Dane, were Prince Daeron, Prince Aerion, Prince Aemon, who would become the maester we see in A Night's Watch in Game of Thrones. Yeah, him, he is in the 11th generation. There were also Princess Daela, Princess Rhea, and King Aegon the Unfortunate Egg. From King Aegon the Egg and his wife Bertha Blackwood comes the 12th generation, which were Prince Duncan the Small, King Jaehaerys, who would marry his sister wife Queen Shaera, then Prince Daeron and Prince Rhael, who would marry Ormond Baratheon, and thus giving a bit of the Targaryen bloodline to the Baratheons, ultimately resulting in the usurper Robert Baratheon 2 generations later, and his brothers Stannis and Renly, technically making them part Targaryen. From King Jaehaerys and Queen Shaera would come the 13th generation of Targaryens, which were the Mad King Aerys and his sister wife Queen Rhaella. Now the Mad King would be taken over by paranoia first and then by visions and hallucinations, resulting in him becoming mad and plunging the realm into another civil war that ends the rule of the Targaryens in Westeros, and beginning the rule of Robert Baratheon, who was still part Targaryen, even though by a league. Before the Mad King was killed by the Kinslayer Jaime Lannister, he already had 3 children which were the 14th generation. These were Prince and heir to the throne Rhaegar Targaryen, his younger brother Prince Viserys, and Princess Daenerys Targaryen, the Mother of Dragons, the Khaleesi, the Breaker of Chains, the Unborn, blah blah blah. Now lastly, Prince Viserys was killed before marrying or siring any bastard, and Daenerys with her stillbirth Prince Rhaego was later unable to have any more children after her ritual in Essos that hatched the dragon eggs. The only 15th generation Targaryens and the latest in this timeline were the children of Prince Rhaegar and Elia Martell. They were Princess Rhaenys and Prince Aegon, who were both killed in Robert's rebellion as infants. But then there was another, which was the child of a marriage between Rhaegar and Lyanna Stark, and this was none other than Jon Snow, disguised as a bastard son of Ned Stark. So that's the entire royal lineage of the Targaryens from Aegon the Conqueror, including his 2 named ancestors, to the 15th generation survivor, which is Jon Snow, or also named Aegon Targaryen. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel for other dragon, Targaryen and monster content. We might just have things you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.